As of this recording, the latest game in the Pokemon franchise is Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, and it seems like it will be the last game for this generation, let alone last Pokemon game for the 3DS. The only information we have as of now is that a new mainline Pokemon game is coming to Nintendo Switch, no trailer and no release date. Now, do I think it will be a massive jump from the previous mainline Pokemon games? No, I don't think so. Maybe graphic wise, as they're now more comfortable working with 3D graphics and of course have better hardware, but when it comes to the actual Pokemon formula, I don't think they will deviate much from it. I'm not certain that there's something wrong with this formula, but when they have been doing it for the past 20 years or so, it can get a bit stale. Although we have seen some changes in the latest generation with Island Trials, Ultra Beasts, just to name a few. And I applaud Game Freak for the innovation, and I'm glad that they didn't play safe like they did with X and Y, because if there's something that defines Game Freak, is that they have a tendency to play it safe. Besides from that, I would love to see them continuing innovating their formula, like what they did with Sun and Moon. If they decide to play it safe, let's say that they're new to the engine and want to test the water, then I will be fine with a Diamond and Pearl remake to kick it off. It is though highly unlikely they would ever take such a path. There's also rumors about a continuation of Sun and Moon called Pokemon Star, which I'm hoping is false. I just don't feel like having an HD remake of Sun and Moon, unless they do a major overhaul, but I digress. So I decided to make myself a small list of things that I want for the upcoming Pokemon game for the Nintendo Switch in no particular order. Number 1. More rewarding side activities in order to make the game more immersive, like unique side quests that reward players with items or Pokemons instead of just having the player running around talk to people for free items. This has been a common thing in Pokemon games. You come to a new city or town and the sole purpose is to talk to every citizen for free items. I mean, it's cool that they're giving you free stuff, but it feels cheap in a way and not so immersive. With side quests you can alleviate some of that and expand the experience. I'm not saying that every item should be gained through side quests, but having side activities and other side quests can at least make it more interesting. Number 2. Including totem-like Pokemon at the end of each cavern or forest, dungeon, or whatever you like to call it to spice things up. Imagine exploring a cave where you have to go through trainers while solving environmental puzzles and then going up against an angry totem Pokemon as a boss. That to me sounds more attractive than going through a bunch of trainers as on random encounters. In other words, take the concept of Island Trials and implement it in different places in the region. Number 3. Adding more Mega Evolutions of classic Pokemons. I always thought that Mega Evolution would be a staple piece for reinventing or buffing all the Pokemons, ever since the introduction of Mega Evolution in X and Y. But it seems like they're going away from Mega Evolution, especially when it got replaced by C-moves and Alola forms in Sun and Moon. I'm not saying that they removed the feature entirely, the feature was there, but they did not add any new Mega Evolutions. If I'm not mistaken, Mega Evolution was supposed to be some sort of a universal concept when it comes to Pokemon evolution, and hopefully they will add more Mega Evolutions in the future, because I really like the concept of it. Speaking of Mega Evolution, how cool would it be if they maybe introduced Mega Luxray or Mega Flygon, just to name a few? Number 4. Allowing players to explore multiple regions. This feature has always been one of my favorite aspects of Gold and Silver. Returning to a previous region to see what has changed and potentially catch all the legendary Pokemon and fighting former trainers is something many of us has asked for since Gold and Silver, and I also remembered as a kid being so disappointed when they removed it from Ruby and Sapphire. Now, we have not seen any Pokemon game with multi-regions since then, unless you count ROM hacks, but the possibility of seeing it return is very slim. I have a feeling that they're probably going to do one big region but with an open world aspect to it. Number 5. Introducing a possible secondary save slot. Now this one might sound controversial, but I've always had an issue with Game Freak only allowing one save slot per game, but at the same time I can see why they would do so. Like for instance prohibiting cloning while at the same time earning more money by pushing players to buy multiple copies. The issue I had derives more from an RPG aspect than shareability. In other words, I don't want to delete my progress if I feel like replaying the game. Let's say that I want to do a Nuzlocke run, or more importantly if I want to share the game with a sibling or a friend. Back then it was technical limitation that prevented Game Freak from adding multiple save slots, and it has sort of worked in a favor for Game Freak ever since then. Trading is a very important aspect when it comes to Pokemon, and by allowing multiple save slots it might hurt trading in the long run. I don't really have an answer for this because I feel like both parties are correct. Maybe they could introduce a secondary save slot that prohibits trade with primary save slot that only allows wonder trading and other online features outside GTS. Anyways, as you guys can see, this is a very short video, and that is mainly because I don't want to take up too much time nitpicking on features that we don't have much info on. I really want it to be great, and it's probably going to be a fantastic game. A mainline Pokemon game on a console is a momentum step for the franchise, and it has been something that I wanted for a really long time. Obviously not counting Colosseum and Gale of Darkness, even though they were good games on their own. But all in all, that is what I have for today. I want to say thank you if you made it this far. I will be doing random videos on games and animes that I like, and if you are in some way interested, please feel free to subscribe.